choir practice tonight.
Well, have you tried singing over your voice?
Yes, but somehow when I do that, I can't seem to stay on the key. But while I'm resting myself, I thought I'd string some of these beans.
Oh, let me help you. Beans been good this year?
Yeah, I decided to put up 40 chords if it kills me. And children say they hate them. But I noticed they're able to get them down all winter.
Myrtle, I've got to talk to you. Because if I don't talk to somebody, I'm going to burst.
Like Emily Gibbs.
Myrtle, did one of those second-hand furniture men from Boston come to see you last Friday?
No.
Well, one called on me. First, I thought it was a patient to see Dr. Gibbs. And then, Myrtle, he worked his way into my parlor, and he offered me $350 for Grandmother Wentworth's highball. Sure as I'm sitting here.
Julia Gibbs.
He did. Oh, that old thing, it was so big, I didn't know where to put it. Almost give it away to my cousin Hester Wilcox.
Well, you're going to take it, aren't you?
I don't know.
You don't know? $350? What's come over you?
Well, if I could get the doctor to take the money, go away someplace on a trip, sell it like that. You know, Myrtle, it's been the dream of my life to see Paris, France. No, it sounds crazy, I suppose. But for years, I've been promising myself that if we ever had a chance.
Well, what's the doctor say?
Well, I had to beat around the bush a little bit. And I said that if I got a legacy, that's the way I put it, I'd make him take me.
Well, what did he say?
Well, you know how he is. I haven't heard a straight word out of that man in all the years I've known him. No, he says, might make him discontented with Grover's Corners to go traipsing about Europe. Better leave well enough alone, he says. Oh, Myrtle, every 2 years he makes a trip to the battlefields of the Civil War. That's enough treat for anybody, he says.
Well, Mr. Webb just admires the way Dr. Gibbs knows everything about the Civil War. Why, he's a good mind to give up Napoleon and move over to the Civil War. Only Dr. Gibbs, being one of the greatest experts in the country, makes him despair.
It's a fact. Dr. Gibbs is never so happy as when he's at Antietam or Gettysburg. Oh, Myrtle, the times I've walked over those hills, stopping at every bush and pacing it out like we was going to buy it.
That second-hand man serious to you. You sell it. Then you'll get to see Paris all right. You just keep dropping little hints from time to time. That's the way I got to see the Atlantic Ocean, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry I even mentioned it. Only it seems to me that once in your life, before you die, you ought to be able to see a country where they don't talk in English. And don't even want to.
Thank you, ladies. Now we'll skip a few hours. But first, we want a little more information about our town, a kind of scientific account, you might say. So I've asked Professor Willard of our state university to sketch in a few details about our past history here. Professor Willard. May I introduce Professor Willard of our state university? Just a few brief notes, thank you, Professor. Unfortunately, our time is limited.
Grover's Corners. Let me see here. Grover's Corners lies on the old Pleistocene granite of the Appalachian Range. I may say that's some of the oldest land in the world. We're very proud of that here. First, there are some more recent outcroppings. Sandstone showing through a shelf of Devonian basalt, some vestiges of Mesozoic shale, but these are comparatively new, perhaps 200 or 300 million years. Some highly interesting fossils have been found, I may say unique fossils, some 2 miles north of the Peckham farm in the Silas Peckham's cow pasture. These may be seen in the museum at our state university at any time. At any reasonable time, that is. Shall I read some of Professor Gruber's notes on the meteorological situation, mean precipitation, and...
I'm afraid we don't have time for that, Professor. We might have a few words about the history of man here, you know.
Anthropological data.
Yes.
Yes. Early Amerindian stock. Here it is. Cotahatchee tribes. No evidence before the 10th century of this era. Now entirely disappeared. Oh, possible traces in 3 families. Migration in the early part of the 17th century of English brachiocephalic blue-eyed stock. Since then, some Slav and Mediterranean...
And the population, Professor.
Inside the town limits, 2,640.
Just a moment, Professor.
Oh yes, at the moment, 2,642. The postal district brings in another 507 for a grand total of 3,149. Birth and mortality rates are constant. By McPherson's gauge, 6.032.
Thank you very much, Professor. I know we're all very much obliged to you.
Oh, not at all, sir, not at all.
And now the political and social report. The editor Webb. Mr. Webb.
He'll be here in a minute. He comes Hannibal eating an apple.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Webb. Mr. Webb is the...
Joel, everybody's waiting!
Mr. Webb is the editor and publisher of the Grover's Corner Sentinel. That's our local paper, you know. Mr. Webb.
I don't have to tell you that we're run here by a board of selectmen. All males vote at the age of 21. Women vote indirect. We're lower middle class, sprinkling of professional men. Politically, we're 86% Republican, 6% Democrat, 4% Socialist, and the rest indifferent. Religiously, we're 85% Protestant, 12% Catholic, and the rest indifferent.
Do you have any comments, Mr. Webb?
Very ordinary town, if you ask me. A little better behaved than most, and probably a lot duller, but our young folks seem to like it well enough. 90% of them graduating from high school settled down right here to live, even when they've been away to college.
Well, now, is there anybody in our audience here who would like to ask Mr. Webb any questions about our town?
Is there much drinking in Rover's Corners?
Well, ma'am, I don't know what you'd call much. Saturday nights, the farmhands meet down at Hillery Reno's stable and holler some, and there's one or two town drunks, but they're always having remorse every time the evangelist comes to town. No, ma'am, I'd say liquor ain't a regular thing in the home here, except in the medicine chest. Right good for snake bites, you know. Always was.
Is there no one in town aware of...
Could you come down here a bit, please, so we can all see you? Now, what's your question?
Is there no one in town aware of social injustice and industrial inequality?
Oh, yes, everybody. It's something terrible. Seems like they spend most of their time talking about who's rich and who's poor.
Then why don't they do something about it?
Well, I don't know. I guess we're hunting like everybody else for a way the diligent and sensible can rise to the top and the lazy and quarrelsome sink to the bottom. But it ain't easy to find. Meantime, we do what we can to help those that can't help themselves, and those that can, we leave alone. Are there any other questions?
Mr. Webb.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Webb, is there any culture or love of beauty in the Grover's Corners?
Well, ma'am, no, there ain't much. Not in the sense you mean. Come to think of it, there's some girls that play piano over at high school commencement, but they ain't happy about it. No, there isn't much culture, but maybe this is the place to tell you we've got a lot of pleasures of a kind here. We like the sun coming up over the mountain in the morning. And we notice a good deal about the birds. We pay a lot of attention to them, and we watch the change of the seasons. Yes, everybody knows about them, but those other things, no, ma'am, you're right. There ain't much. Robinson Crusoe and the Bible, and Handel's Largo, we all know that. Whistler's Mother, but those things are about as far as we go.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Webb. Now we'll go back to town. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. All 2,642 have had their lunches, and all the dishes have been washed. The children have gone back to school. There's a buzzing and a humming coming from the school building. Only a few buggies on Main Street, horses dozing at the hitching post. There's an early afternoon calm about the town. You all remember what it's like? Doc Gibbs is up in his office tapping people and making them say, ah. Mr. Webb here's cutting his lawn. 1 man in 10 thinks it's a privilege to push his own lawnmower.